Here's when you know you've outgrown basic AI explanations. Your board is asking you about your AI strategy. Your competitors are deploying sophisticated AI agents, and you're tired of surface-level conversations about AI transformation. Well, today we're going beyond the buzzwords to understand the foundational technologies that are actually reshaping the industries. Large language models, AI agents, and the retrieval systems that make them enterprise-ready. By the end, you'll speak fluently about the AI architectures driving competitive advantage. Let's start with the engine behind ChatGPT, Claude, and every conversational AI your teams may be using. Large language models, or LLMs. Think of an LLM as a massive pattern recognition system trained on virtually all human text, books, articles, code, conversations. During training, it learns to predict the next word in a sequence by identifying statistical relationships between billions of word combinations. When you ask it a question, it's not going to look up answers like a database. It's generating responses based on learned patterns of how humans communicate about similar topics. It's a language calculator. Here's what makes this powerful for businesses. LLMs understand context, maintain conversation threads, and can adapt their communication style. They're not just keyword matching, they're modeling human reasoning patterns. But here's the catch. They only know what they're trained on, which is why enterprise applications can really get interesting. Now let's shift gears and talk about AI agents. An AI agent isn't just a chatbot with a better interface. It's an autonomous system that can plan, execute multi-step workflows, and interact with your business systems to achieve a specific objective, or more than one objective. Picture this. Instead of your team manually gathering quarterly reports, analyzing some market data, and then preparing a board presentation, an AI agent receives the objective, which is prepare Q4 board materials, then autonomously queries your CRM, pulls financial data, analyzes competitor intelligence, drafts strategic recommendations, and schedules follow-up actions. So it's not just answering questions, it's executing business processes. What's the difference? AI agents have memory by way of their context windows, and they plan sequences of actions. They can use tools and APIs and MCP servers, and they learn from the outcomes. So for executives, this represents the shift from AI as a productivity tool to AI as a digital workforce. Here's where enterprise deployment gets complex, and that's also where RAG comes in. RAG stands for Retrieval Augmented Generation, and it's the bridge between generic AI capabilities and your proprietary business intelligence. The problem that RAG solves is this. LLMs are brilliant at reasoning and communication, but they don't know your customer data, your internal processes, or your competitive landscape. RAG connects LLMs to your enterprise data in real time. When you ask about customer churn patterns, RAG retrieves the relevant data from your system, then feeds it to the LLM for analysis and insight generation. Think of RAG as giving your AI a research team that can instantly access any document, database, or data source in your organization. This is how you get AI that's not just smart, but smart about your business. Now let's address the creative side. Generative AI and diffusion models. You've seen the headlines about AI generating images or creating videos and content, but what's the strategic implication for your organization? Generative AI creates new content by learning the underlying patterns of existing content. Whether it's generating marketing copy, designing product variations, or creating training materials, it's accelerating creative workflows at an unprecedented scale. But the real opportunity isn't replacing creativity, it's augmenting it. Your teams can now iterate through hundreds of concepts, personalize content at scale, and prototype ideas at the speed of thought. Diffusion models, the technology behind tools like Midjourney and DALL-E, they work by learning to reverse a process of adding noise to images. They can generate entirely new visuals, modify existing content, or create variations on themes. For businesses, this means rapid prototyping, personalized marketing assets, and content creation that scales with your growth. Here's the executive question. How do those technologies compound when integrated into your operation? Well, when AI agents use RAG to access your data, then employ generative models to create personalized customer communications, that's when AI becomes a competitive moat, not just a productivity tool. Let me address the questions I hear from executives on this AI discussion very often. First question, how do we ensure data security with these new systems? The key really is in the deployment architecture. Enterprise RAG systems can operate entirely within your security perimeter, and modern AI agents can be configured with strict access controls and audit trails. The question isn't whether it's secure, it's whether your implementation follows enterprise security protocols. Second question, what's the ROI timeframe for sophisticated AI deployments, not just science projects, if you will? Unlike traditional enterprise software, AI systems improve as you use them. So initial deployment might show 20-30% efficiency gains, but as the systems learn your processes and data patterns, organizations typically see 200 to 300% productivity improvements in these targeted workflows within 12 to 18 months. Another question I get is, how do we build internal AI capabilities, or should we partner or third party this out? Well, this depends on your core competency and your competitive strategy. If AI is going to differentiate your customer experience, build internal capabilities. If it's optimizing back office operations, strategic partnerships often deliver the fastest results. Most successful executives are doing both. They're partnering for some quick wins, but also building strategic capabilities. Here's the bottom line. Your competitors aren't just implementing AI. They're architecting AI-powered business models. The question isn't whether to adopt the technology, but how quickly can you transform them into a competitive advantage for you and your business. Ready to move from AI awareness to an AI advantage? Click the AI readiness link in the description and get your own deployment roadmaps, ROI models, and vendor evaluation criteria for each of these technologies that we discussed today. This is AI Business. I'll see you in the next episode.